Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We're going to go into the Violet Voss Holy Grails palette. First we're going to use the Mary Kay Eye Primer, which I really like. It holds the eyeshadow, but it doesn't cover up any veininess. So if that's what you're looking for, this isn't the one for you. We're first going to go into Thanks a Latte to go ahead and set down that eye primer, just so that way all the other eyeshadows can go ahead and blend nicely. Then we're going to go into the actual shade Transition. For me, it's a transition color. It did end up being a bit light, so I actually went in a couple of times to kind of put that in the crease. And a little bit more than the crease, kind of the crease, kind of the lid, kind of, again, it's transition, so whatever other colors are going to go on it needs to blend well. Then we're going into Are You Kidding Me, which I thought was a funny name. And that's going to go into the same area as far as the crease area, blending with the transition color, just to give it a little bit more depth. And we're just going to go ahead and do that on both sides. I like putting in an extra color there just to kind of give it more before I throw in any other like deeper dark color on the corner or anything like that. And then I do like to take that initial brush that we use to set it to kind of blend everything out as well. There's no additional product on it or anything, but just used to help, blow out the edges. All of the brushes are going to be listed down there. I forget what the titles are, but then we're going to go into Teddy Bear, and that's going to be, in the corner of the eye to give it some more depth. We're kind of doing, I guess it's a smoky eye. I don't really even know the technical terms when it comes to that, but that shade that I used with Are You Kidding Me, or that brush rather, we're going to go in again. I think a lot of what you just need to know at this point is once you get your initial colors down, a lot of times it's just blending, it's back and forth, it's building up the color, because as you can see there, Teddy Bear, kind of when you're blending everything out, kind of blends away a little bit. But the color does hold, so it's just a matter of adding and blending. There you see I go back into Teddy Bear, put that back on. I'm probably going to take another brush and blend it. See, yeah, blend it out. Because you don't want it to be so harsh. You want the edges to be nice. And so really, to be honest, for me, this is like the longest part when it comes to doing my makeup. It's the eyes, because I just want to get it to be perfect. And this is kind of like a flatter shader brush. This is Toffee, which is a gold color that we're going to go in. I always dip into the gold color and then I spray it with some setting spray. And in this case, I have Fix Plus. So you didn't actually see me dipping into it, but I dip into it first and then spray it. I find that for me personally, I like it better because then the eyeshadow itself in the pan is not going to be all wet. Although it is a kind of a crumbly shadow, so, it is what it is when it comes to glitters. But as you can see there, I added the glitter. Now I'm going back into Teddy Bear, building up that color again. And it's really all about what you like and what you, want out of an eye look. And there we go again, using that initial blending. I know this one is a Sephora Crease. I think it's number 10. But again, all of the products and all of the brushes that I'm using, hopefully in the order that I use them, will be listed down below. But in any case, they'll be listed there, and then you can just check it out. So now I'm going to go into Crystal. So it's kind of like a shimmery shade. I'm just going to go ahead and use that, on the brow bone. I feel like when I was going back editing this, it looks weird that my eyebrows aren't done, and, maybe I'll change that for next time. But we're going to go into the Cover FX Blurring Primer, which I like. I do find that it blurs the pores, on my cheeks and on my nose. So I do like that. We're going into Maybelline Fit Me Classic Ivory. This is a dewy and smooth one. I do tend to have dry skin, especially recently, just being winter time. It could be that I don't drink enough water, which I'm working on. But this is a Real Techniques sponge, It's not the actual like orange one, obviously it's pink. Um, but I'd gotten it, I think, in a set for like the holidays. It was like, came with 3 sponges for like $10, and I'm using the larger end, obviously, for the foundation. Maybelline Fit Me Concealer is the one in Fair, which is the shade Fair. And I just put that under my eyes, a little bit on my forehead, a little bit on my nose. I try not to go heavy-handed with it because I do have creases right under my eyes. Like, not a lot, but just like one definite crease. Um, where it's just like, I don't know, extra skin or something. Um, so I try not to put a lot. But then I'm going to now go into the MAC Fix Studio Powder Plus Foundation. I think that's what it's called. And I'm going to go ahead and set it. And now that I think about it, I feel like I probably should have set that with maybe a bit of a loose powder, maybe with a sponge. But, you know, I mean, it's doing the job because I also don't want it to be too heavy. You know, a lot of times with my looks, because I've got dry skin, I really don't want it to be too heavy. So I then just decided to dust it over the rest of my face just to kind of set down that foundation. Eyeshadow, I'm sorry, my eyebrows, the products will be listed there below. It takes me forever. But now I'm going in with the Ulta, it's a highlighting brush with the Revolution bronzer to go ahead and bronze. I like this brush when it comes to bronzing because I feel like I'm more of a bronzer as I am like a contour person. And so I think this helps me achieve that without it being too heavy, too um, contoured, especially when I'm not really going anywhere, or if this is something I decided to do to work. It's not that, you know, crazy. I just sit at a desk all day, so we're going in Revolution blush. Sorry if it's extra fast. I wanted this to be kind of a quick video, but this is infusion, and I use the Aesthetica blush brush. I think it's a blush brush, but I liked it. And then, as you can see there, I'm just taking that powder brush and going over it again. Sometimes I find that it's too blush, you know, and I want it to be fused out. And you can see there, I'm taking like a Luxie brush to kind of chisel up the edges. That's how I achieved my contour look, which I feel like I do like that brush for. I kind of tested it. I didn't do that before, but I actually really like it. And this is a Luxie brush too. It's a highlighting brush, I think, or it's a tapered powder brush. And I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlighter, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that right on the cheeks and right above the eyebrows. I like that. It's a nice subtle color. It's not too blam, bam in your face. Which, you know, if you like it, great. For me, this is what I like. Now, I'm spraying my face with Fix Plus, but I should have covered my eyes because I used a lot. Clearly, you can see I'm still going there. And it kind of creased the eyeshadow. So that definitely was not a good plan on my part. And then also, normally I take a sponge usually to then pat it in. I don't know if I put too much Fix Plus this time, or if I can't talk today. Sorry, guys. I don't know if the sponge was different. You know, I use a different sponge, usually Eco Tools or something like that, and so I usually don't have a problem. But it was kind of picking up some of the product. But again, it probably was too wet. A little bit later, but obviously you see here I've got the Superhero It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, and I like this. It does bring it out, but it tends to be too wet. I got some on my cheeks, like right below my eyes. I'm going in with this Wet n Wild Color Icon lip liner in the shade Chestnut, right before I go in with the Ofra liquid lipstick in the shade Verona. I like the Ofra liquid lipsticks. This is the first time I think I've tried it, and it's very comfortable. It doesn't feel too drying. You can feel it, obviously, in the lips a little bit, but it's not bad. So I did let that mascara dry right as you see where I'm taking it off. When it dries, you use a little bit of an eyebrow brush to kind of scrape it off, and then I'm going back in with that powder brush to just try and, you know, pat that out again. And maybe I'll use that brush for setting my under eyes in the future. For my lower lash line, or my lower lashes, I'm using the Voluminous Carbon Black. That's actually in waterproof. That way it doesn't, you know, flake or anything. And I just wanted to show you what the ending look was. I really enjoyed this look. I really like this look. And I do like the palette. I think it was my mistake for not having covered my eyes. And the It mascara, it's a little bit too wet, but you know, we'll keep trying it out. I do want to thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if it was quick, but I did want to make it a bit quick so that way, you know, just wanted to share with you my thoughts here. Subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you have a great day.